Hello, this is OldCrowBalthazor. Excuse me. Wow. And my phone's ringing. I can't get out of this. Anyway, welcome to Balthazar Strategic Arcana. Well, I can't take that call now. So anyway, we're playing a Total Realism Project World mod, a mod you can use if you got Strategic Command World at War. I'm playing the Axis. Colonel's playing the Allies. This is episode 184, September 5th, 1945. And when I was in the PBM server, it's bright green, which means the match is over. In August, end of August. I talked to the Colonel, I know the result, but I'm not going to spoil it for you. Yeah. And me thought this was going to go until 1947 May. We were told that too. So we're going to be doing an AAR. And we're going to talk about this mod. We're going to talk about victory conditions. And we are going to talk about... it's really important to have a proper end date. I'll tell you why this one is ending in April or in end of August. One odd thing here, there's no Manhattan Project if anyone's watching. So it makes sense that you need to have a Manhattan Project. If you don't have it, you got to extend this out a little ways, because the only way that you can feed Japan is either get them at zero national morale, which could be doable, or take the capital out. There's no alternative capital. Now I surmise that it's possible he could get me down to zero. We were still up at like 10%. But we're not going to know. But I do have some ideas. I'll have to talk to you about this about it. We are closing in. We're closing in on South Korea. It's a pretty strong force. So we can see everything too. Fog war's off because the match is over. We're going to look at all the records. We're going to look at the losses, the detailed losses. It's going to be astronomical. Especially with the Soviets. And Germans too. Hopefully we'll be able to see the ending national morale status for each country. Each major. Yeah, apologize about the ending our guy. I wasn't ready to record. But once this gets rolling, I can't pause it. Then you miss out on the replay. So yeah, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, and we did have Operation Werewolf too. That was fun. Yeah, Vienna. He didn't have it covered. The Partisan pop there. I was just kind of role playing that. Operation Werewolf. That would be, the diehards would come out of the woodwork and start hitting the Americans or the all the allies in Germany. Some sabotage and stuff. I didn't think they would be able to take Vienna though. And then of course we moved to try to attack some Soviet aircraft because why not? We're going to be talking about some new house rules too, because me and the Colonel just started a match when this happened. Now about 3 weeks ago, Italy went down. We're going to talk about fixing some prone capitals that are prone. We've only, my other match we're only like 3-4 turns in, so we can mend house rules. It's really what we can do about impacting the game. And we'll go through that too. And I'm going to do an announcement when we get. I don't know when the other one's going to air. this is going to be airing what? The end of November? Yeah, November 30th. Wow. We got to get enough content going because for the war reasons. Because we do watch Tara's videos once in a while, but even if we don't want to accidentally spill the beans on something. Everybody's been good, but you know, there has been other play-by-email or play-by-mail multiplayer matches on with YouTubers, and that there was a couple of infamous ones where they were literally posting like within days of when they pulled the turn, and commenters or other people were cheating. Well, they're basically telling the other opponent. Well, it was a war in the Pacific one in particular, telling the other opponent things that were going on. You know, fog wars are extremely expensive, especially in a Pacific War game. Look at those Chinese trying to take over their country. It'd be interesting to see the Reds mouse guys go after. That was probably foolish. I did put it like he got into it. See, that guy didn't get upgraded. No, I forgot about that. So this would be rubbed out pretty quick, and be. The thing was, I figured there was going to be more turns, and winter time was going to come. I figured Canada was going to fall eventually, but I think it would have been nice if this would extend out at least to the end of the year. That's a lot of Russians to take back to Siberia. Yeah, looking for me. Yeah, I don't know how well I would have done here. These guys are entrenched with Busan pretty good. That just mirrors the North 1950 when the North Koreans came out. We did find it. I did move some guys, moved them off, but not enough. Oh. Yeah, he's only got 3 planes, 6 planes there. We got. Well, we did get to do a good bonsai attack, sink a carrier. Not far enough, huh? I was probably going to. I was contemplating disbanding these. Wouldn't be much money, but it's national morale. Because sinking a bunch of money in it would probably been worthless. It'd be better just to buy units. Like an anti-air. I was going to put anti-air upgrades this turn on Tokyo. Some of the other cities I could get away with doing. Fukushima, one's closer. Osaka. Oh, he sent them to the Pacific. Yeah, the loot boxes. Yeah, I never got that too. One turn to go to the Pacific from here. All these guys they just got done with the war in Europe, man. They're like thinking they're going home. They're Brits, right? Why are we going across the Atlantic? Oh, you're gonna enjoy Panama. Okay, here we go. Here's Operation Werewolf. That it won't last long. I never did look who owned Germany either. I forgot. Is it the Soviets own it? Finland's still in the fight. Oh, he's got a lot of guys there. They're coming in. Oh, I'm sure it's going to be no object. The cost, no problem. Special Forces, yeah. Oh, shit. Oh! I don't know, I think that's Mannheim in there. Well, he definitely was an anti-red, man. Yeah. I would probably also specify you gotta keep a minimum amount of troops in Germany or Japan if you take it. You know, as occupying force. Not Italy, not so much. but definitely Germany. Not enough partisan zones there. Betcha the Soviets got the whole thing. Is that Americans? No, I can't tell. Are they non-cooperative, or is this what you own? See, there's no demarcation. There isn't. Yeah. I've been a little late about putting anti-aircraft there. Yeah, lose 15 MPP. That's pretty bad, man. For the tiny bit of money commands got left. Jesus Christ. How long is this going to be? Well, anyway, I did talk to Colonel. There are some good things about having this definite a lot earlier in 1947. We'll talk about that. Good things for the Axis too. Well, I can talk about it now. It's on my mind. If things turn for you like in 43, like they can very easily, like it basically did for this week, you can, as Axis, particularly Germany, well, in Japan too, I would say, in Italy. You know, go on a defensive posture, totally. I kind of had to. I did get aggressive. I mean, it kicked out one D-Day, but that happened early 43, and then it tried in 44. But yeah, it could skew your strategy, long-term strategy, which I think is good. I do think that it ending in August is... here we go. End of August 45 is too early, since Japan's in the mix. We're gonna look at everything. I'm gonna do AR. I mean, official AR. We'll look at that. But I'll tell you my thoughts. I'm gonna talk to Lothus about this. So this mod is world, right? But it's not based on World at War. It's based on war in Europe. So he just extended out the time to that when the atom bombs hit, and then maybe a month or a couple weeks after. So the problem is there are no atomic weapons. If you use atomic weapons in World at War, Axis marginal victory. So we won. It was marginal. Okay. Japanese morale falls the loss of Hiroshima. Axis marginal victory. So, okay, I'm happy I won. But I'm not so clear that I'm happy it won this way. Let's go look at all this. So, I think Japan could have held out to the end of the year, maybe not. I do like to play fair, though. So, what I was saying is, this is based on war in Europe. War in Europe and World at War have two different versions of Grand Campaign. One is Race to Victory. That ends in World War in Europe a couple months after May 1945. And then the extended Grand Campaign it goes to 47. So it's almost possible for the Germans to lose. So anyway, the developers had designed Race to Victory for play by mail because it gives the Germans a chance to change their strategy, or the Axis, or Germans in war in Europe, change their strategy and just try to hold on to what they got and outlast the Allies and wear them down, right? So there's that. War in Europe is basically the same. There's two versions. There's a Race to Victory version. That ends like in October 45 or at the end of the year. And then the other one, the extended campaign, goes to 47. So it's almost inevitable the Allies are going to win. So again, Here, though, I think it ended a little too short, but I'll take the victory. Let's go to the reports real quick. Yeah, I'm glad I talked to the colonel because I wouldn't have known this wouldn't have been ready for an AR. I mean, I could have did it on the cuff, but I had time to think about it, what we're going to want to look at. Let's go back. Let's go at losses. Let's go look at detail losses. Oh yeah, we can look at this first. 342 units, 245. China 122. Damn, man. Japan's Navy, yeah. How much is the Army? 88. British lost over 100, French 52. Americans 63 land units. Only 5 air units. Yeah, I lost the entire Luftwaffe. It's Japan, Italy, UK. So, yeah, the Americans lost 46 ships. A big chunk of those were missing in the first big battle that we had off of Timor, between Timor and Australia. Let's go look at the detail losses. Here's the Soviet Union, man. Good Lord. Now, of course, Germany, when it falls, it's gonna they fight to the last man. So, yeah, we killed that tank destroyer 5 times. God, we killed a lot of elite infantry, a lot of motorized. How much armor? 12 times, 9 divisions, Armor Corps. The Germans, yeah, they lost everything. Americans 5. Here's the ship losses. Now I should have 3 carriers I sunk. Yeah, there it is right there for the Americans. Brutal. Let's see I wonder if we can see the ending national morale. Yeah, Britain, 73. France, or Free France, 85. Yeah, they were going down. United States, 52. Soviet Union, 112. China, 61. Yeah, they got a big boost. They're taking back their towns. Germany, well, they're out. They got down to like 65. Yeah, I don't have to look at Italy. Japan still at 83%. So if you have the atom bomb, well, I guess you could sink it down. The other problem is there's no alternative capital here. So, but this can make things interesting, though, in our new match. Look at all those reds. Jesus Christ. Is Finland still in? Well, they are for now. My God. All right, let me turn these off. We're gonna look at the map. So, when I was playing, we got real close to Moscow in the spring of '42. I didn't say anything, but I knew in my heart that the Axis had lost at least a year in Europe. That they were going to lose eventually, unless short of some kind of a bad disaster. What happened, if anyone was following us, is I lost 3 armored corps rapidly here, and this was in the spring of '42. I lost those, and they take so long to rebuild that pretty much the summer of '42, I couldn't. There was just no way I could take on Moscow. He did a brilliant defense, and he counterattacked me here. I mean, we got close, right? We were in here, but we were pushing right in here, and I lost these corps. So what did I do? I had to segue at least secure this and get into here. That was a turning point, but it didn't look like it because we bled the Soviets. We bled them and bled them and bled them. Now, one thing that actually might have saved the Soviets for '43. Because I was planning on going back in towards Moscow again. Because he did an early D-Day in early of '43, which did shock me, and I knew I was going to wipe it out. But in order to wipe it out, I had to bring assets there. A lot of it I had ready, and I had to rail them in. Took a little while, and we methodically destroyed them. So I thought he made a gross mistake, the Colonel. And I still kind of think it was a mistake. But the end result was 43. I had to go on. I had to kind of segue on a defensive, but aggressive defense. So I'd kill as many. I was killing a lot of Soviets and watching their national morale go down. Knew that, and it did bring their national morale back up because it was considered a D-Day. In these strategic command games, D-Day is, at least as far as I know, D-Day is considered 3 units. 3 units land in France. I believe here on these coastlines, not in the south. But anyway, it has to be a minimum of 3 units, and the Soviets get the boost that you start to open up a second front. So you could get away with 3 units, apparently. I could be wrong, could be a couple more, but I remember it wasn't very much, and I thought, I wonder they should change that. Because you get suicide troops, and I know the Western Allies are going to do that. So the next fiasco was, well, a huge mistake I made. And I knew I didn't want to do it, but when he did his second D-Day, and I brought all my bombers over from the Soviet Union, he had gone into Crimea, but I had all these bombers here, and he had 3 tank corps. I could have killed him, and then I could have segued up and kept this from falling to pieces. But I was worried. I was worried that he was going to get entrenched here, and I would never get him out. So I needed the aircraft to tip the balance, because I knew he had, I killed so many units here that he couldn't be that thick. He had some garrison units here, but he had a variety of other combat units. But I figured he had airplanes because I just kept seeing planes coming out here. I put my bombers too damn close, and I did not realize the strap bombers could do the damage they could. Because in this mod you can put ground assault upgrades on it. And I don't know if he had them upgraded now, but anyway, he was able to hit my planes after I used them, and then he rinsed and repeated me a second time. I should have unasked. That was a second big mistake for sure. So I probably should have kept him over here and just kept hammering him and just let him have complete air dominance. I want to at least lost my aircraft, because once I lost my bomber aircraft, I couldn't kill. I couldn't counterattack. I needed those planes. I would destroy tanks, Soviet tanks going. And here I'd probably just send more land units and, fall back here. The other thing is Italy. Now, that was a big controversy. We're in our new house. We're going to have a house rule, because it wasn't just Italy that could be prone to this kind of stuff, and it's been an issue for years. Copenhagen is another one. Me and the Colonel hammered out. We're trying to figure out how can we want to play the same mod, the same version. Doubt if we can get Lothos to make this a fortress. And might not be desirable. He did for Hawaii, and there's one in Malta, of course. And Rome is actually not on the water. This is actually, it's about 7 miles away, but so I guess it's legit. So we came up with the house rule that only 1 AVL strike can be used on a capital. And he hit me 4 times and he got through. The other thing is, you see, if you play war in Europe, or if you play World at War, you have armies and corps. There's no army units here, which are super strong. But they can't resist determined AVL strikes, especially if they're level 4 or 5. Now, we don't want armies in here. It's legit that you only have divisions and corps at this scale. I never got why war in Europe has army units. But anyway, so how do you defend Rome? Well, the only other thing I could think of is the AA units that are in this game are super strong defensively. And, until you knock their entrenchments down. And there's that anti-tank gun, assault gun or whatever it is. But still, once you get them down, get the entrenchments down, you're going to get them. So you could use 6 or 7 AVL. So we decided only 1 AVL strike. Now, when he took Rome through the replay, I thought that he actually hit this, but he landed here, and I did not have a fortification here. That's probably the first thing you should do. A fortification here. You already got a town here, or maybe cover this. I was all worried about this. So that's what we're going to do, because otherwise I could gamely just, I could do the same thing to him, do it much earlier and take out no matter what he puts in here. I'm sure I could do it, especially if I have enough AVLs, right? You'll finally just beat your way through. Because if you don't do something like that, don't house rule this, then there's no reason to even do a torch or Salerno landings or anything like that. The second thing was I made a mistake. Once he took it, this is the deal with Italy. If you bring Italy to 0 national morale, but not by taking Rome, but by taking these NM places because it's weak. If you get all the ones in North Africa, you get Sicily, and you get Toronto and Naples, it generally will surrender, and Axis still be holding on to this, and then they supposedly get a decision. But whether or not, if they don't have Rome, they don't get the whole country, and so I should have at least sprinkled, garrisons and maybe a couple mobile units, so that when it did surrender, I could stitch together a front and not have it end up right up here. I was lucky I was able to hold as long as I did. I did. Almost towards the end of the war here with Scratch Force. The other mistakes, yeah, I made plenty. But it was fun as hell, man. So anyway, I don't know what else we could look at. Oh, we could look at, let's look at this research. I'm sure it's all maxed out here at 45, pretty close. Yeah, we got a cap of bombers. In the in the next game we're playing, we're going to cap them at 2. And also we're going to know that this can end at the end of August 45. So that's going to change our tactics and strategies. Well, strategy mainly. Now, Americans, where were they with the subs? Well, they were going to 4. Yeah, once they get sub 3s are dangerous. That was another thing. The Japanese, I went big with subs. I should have followed through on sub-tech. I didn't really realize how strong the subs are in this mod, and they also got a strong zone of control, which I was kind of aware of, but I didn't really use it to my best benefit. When he came after me with his subs in the Pacific, just like a year ago, I couldn't deal with him, so I went big with Japan. I went big on the naval program. I bought as many ships as I could, but then I didn't realize how expensive it was to upgrade them. So I don't know if maybe you want to go with the Army first, but then you're going to really get rolled. So out on the ocean, but go with the Army first and take out China. Well, I don't know. We're going to find out what he's going to do in the next match because he's playing the Axis. Colonel is United States again. Yeah, you didn't even put any chits in here. Logistics super important. Let's go look at the Soviets. Yeah, I never didn't need to do this. Go any further. He finally started getting the long range, and he was at level 3 of his fighters. Yeah, if I had Japanese fighters there, I would have really tore him up. China's interesting. What has he done with China? Oh, he's going to try to get an amphibious warfare. Yeah. Yeah, it was mostly buying units. There's Germany. Was Germany. Was Italy. Japan. Now let's go convoys. Yeah, convoys dropped. Dutch East Indies. Yeah, he was sending money for a bunch of it. Yeah, I barely touched them. MPPs. Look at those serious ass losses. That's the British. Well, look at the French at the beginning. Yeah, Paul France, right? United States. That was that big battle we had. He lost a lot of ships. So did we. There's the Soviets. Holy, ow. Holy shit. 95. No, the United States is not pretty high too. And the British. Let's go look at China. Yeah, you can see hot China, cold China, hot China, cold China. Really hot China. That's the operation I did against the Reds, man. And then it's just, yeah, pretty consistently bad for everybody. Germany. Yeah, wow. That's the winter time. Right after Barbarossa, the next winter. That's rough. That's really bad. That's also combat losses too, probably. And then here, fall. Italy did well, and then all of a sudden they surrendered. Boom, right here. And this is Allied Italy. They did real well. Damn, Japan. Yeah, we kept our losses below our spending, below our income mainly. Till the end here. I want to look at the Soviets. But here's our spending. God, we kept it high. It must have been difficult for him. But he could keep buying. He had pretty good income, but the Germans, yeah, look at the Chinese. He got to build up here. Wow. Well, yeah, that's impressive. Do you think you got enough to take out Finland? And what were you sending here? Ah, big army. Oh, wow, look at all that aircraft. Here come the land troops. They're walking. These guys, that's the vanguard. Yeah, well, I guess we dodged the bullet for ending it when it did. But but I assumed I was lost because it was 40 ending in 47. There was no way. But it might have been more interesting to see it in January, see if you could have got in here. But again, another way you could probably take out Japan is to drop their national morale without taking Tokyo. But I think that would be very difficult because I've essentially lost my entire fleet. I'm going to go back because I have to think about this when I play their national morale again. Yeah, I was at 136 or something like that. Then it started plummeting. We lost a big chunk of our Navy. See, we lost a chunk. It was here. We lost some here. Oh, you know what this is? This is when our trade was restricted. Yeah, the tariffs and all that. Embargo. Yeah, you get a chip, you start losing it, and then it'll come back. That's cascading, but could he have got me down to 0 earlier? I don't know, and that's where you need the Manhattan Project. So I think even if you destroy the entire fleet and win everywhere, you gotta do a landing, and you gotta take this by this. I'm gonna have to try when I'm playing allies. Well, we'll see. But anyway, that's going to change everything. That's going to mean, I would say, because there's a lot of national morale objectives he didn't go after, he skipped them. Bypassed the Marianas, or the Marshalls. Not the Marianas. Well, yeah. Oh. That's the Marianas. He did take Okinawa. Yeah, Iwo Jima. Yeah, I don't know how much that is. We did lose these in China, but not all of them. Still got all these in Manchuria. Maybe a Soviet invasion. Killing the fleet. Getting all the islands, maybe? I still don't think that'll bring Japan down to 0. before this, so I don't know. Well, anyway, I do think that there should be a Manhattan project here, but it's not my mod, so I brought it up to you. But there isn't in this mod. Also, there are none of the World at War Pacific decisions, but they got all the Europe ones, right? And the foundation of this game is Fall Weeks 2. Crispy 13.13.13's Fall Weeks 2, which is a brilliant mod for war in Europe. And he has one for World at War too, but there are no Pacific events incorporated here. There's nothing. So I think that's again, he said mod dev says it's a design, or it's a work in progress. There's a lot of stuff I would incorporate in there. I mean, there's no home guard units that pop up here if you proximity to units here. There isn't free units, but the Germans get them. Again with the Volksgrenadiers. I mean, I started getting garrisons and stuff like that when Allied or Soviet units were in proximity to certain German cities. Landing in Denmark will do it, or Netherlands. So there's that. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hell, we had 184, 100 with this. Yeah, 184 turns. Wow, man. So, 5.5 months, almost 6 months. Is that right? No, it has been 6 months. 30 days times 6. Yeah, a half a year of playing, man. Oh, man. I tell you what, though, I thoroughly enjoyed this. So, anyway, well, thanks. Thanks, Colonel. And thanks to all you guys that watch this and comment and like this. I really like the likes. I never asked for it, but it is a hobby of mine. And, I don't make real money on this, and I don't want to make any money on this stuff. It's a hobby, man. I'll put money into my hobbies, but I won't, but it helps the algorithm, and it does make me feel good seeing that people enjoy this stuff. And especially if you guys are watching both sides, I can just imagine how good it is. I don't get to do that. I look a little bit at the Colonel's videos, but it's like a month or two after the fact, and so we're way advanced. But there's been times I went, how the hell did he do that? Or, oh. And the other thing is watching the replay. There's things that I don't think anyone realizes if you just play single player. You think something is going on a certain way, but it looks totally different from the other point of view, whether it be the AI or another person, depending on, spotting and all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, Intel. One good Intel hit can turn the whole thing, man. But you can also track stuff over time, too, which is what I used to do. Well, I like, and let's just say I enjoy doing that. You start seeing trends and stuff, and it's not enough to give to an analyst, but you want to record it, and then you give it over to someone, and then they analyze it. Well, I get to analyze this stuff. I ain't just collecting. Let's just say that. So I love that aspect about this game. I love Street, man. So anyway, thanks to everybody, and I think that's long enough AR. And we'll be doing this one again. So you guys, and also the holidays are coming up. So Thanksgiving just ended for us in the United States, and there's Christian holidays coming up, and then the pagan holidays too. Let's not forget those guys. I'm one of them. Well, kind of. Anyway, well, this is OldCrowBalthazor. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys on the virtual battlefields. I am gone.